And good evening. It's Monday and it's 7 o'clock and this is ChildServ. I'm Mike Glass and welcome back again. This evening we're going to talk about one of our programs, and of course you know that ChildServ is a major social organization in Chicago, 117 years old, and we are involved primarily with at-risk children and their families and in assisting this group. And so this evening we're going to talk with Ms. Ibrahim, who runs our PEP program, and I want to also just say and invite all of you who might be listening that if there's any questions that you might have regarding this program that we run, or anything regarding ChildServ for that matter, the number is 312-738-1060 as you see it on the screen, or behind me. Please go to our website, www.childserv.org. Good evening and welcome.
Thank you.
So let's start with PEP. Mm-hmm. What does that mean, and what type of a program is PEP?
Sure. PEP, we call it, it's a parent empowerment program. It's a home visiting program. And pretty much we service parents who are either pregnant or have children 0 to 3 in their homes. And we pretty much service clientele in the Cook County as well as the Lake County community.
Okay. Cook County and Lake County. Now, I know that the organization, ChildServ, is also involved in DuPage County, correct, in Chicago proper. Mm-hmm. And so, does this program, can people take advantage of this program within those areas also?
Oh, definitely. In the Chicago, in the Cook County community, we serve West Englewood as well as Englewood, Humboldt Park community. We serve Austin, Rogers Park as well.
Okay. And what if you're not in those particular areas? What happens then? Is there any possibility for you, if you want to take advantage of this program?
Pretty much, if you're not in this, because we're restricted in terms of our funding sources.
Okay.
So if you're not if you don't qualify for our program, what we do is that we do referral. So we refer our clients, those who are not qualified for our program, to other programs that they might be qualified for.
I see. Well, let's get into what the program actually is. Give us some examples of this empowerment, parent empowerment program that you're talking about, how that operates.
Pretty much it's a home visiting program. We have a curriculum that we use called the Parent is Teachers curriculum, where all the staff are trained on how to use the curriculum. So the curriculum pretty much is based on the child's age. So let's say, for instance, we come out, we have a 20-month-old a child. We'll bring out a 20-month-old curriculum to the home. And in addition to the curriculum, we also do social services, which is case management component, whereby we come out to the home. We do a family need assessment to find out what the families are in need of, and we also develop a service plan with the family. Pretty much the goals can be anything that the parent want to achieve in their life. Sometimes we see goals such as housing, we see employment as well, we see education as a goal, and also we see child development, because some of the parent don't know how to properly parent their children. So we go by in terms of identifying these goals with the family, and we assist the family in achieving their goals.
Now, how do the families, the parents, get involved in this program? For people who might be watching and say, wow, that's really nice and we would like to be involved in it, or I'd like to have somebody come out, how do they learn about this outside of what we're doing here tonight?
Well, pretty much they can go to the ChildServ website, which is childserv.org. They can call me personally, and I will take their information and pretty much contact the parent, talk to the parent on the phone, and go out and do an intake, which is pretty much enrolling the clientele into the program. Intake process can be me coming out to the parent home, talking to them extensively about the program, and also ways that they can get their children as well as themselves enroll into the program.
I'll just stop for a second, and again, let me say that if there's anyone listening this evening and you are interested in our PEP or Parent Empowerment Program. Again, the number is 312-738-1060 if you would like some other information. Or, as we've been saying, go to our website, www.childserv.org. You had mentioned that we're restricted in some ways by the funding sources. So what is the funding source here? Is it, do we work with the City of Chicago with this, or is it State of Illinois? How are we?
Right. Well, we're funded by Illinois State Board of Education, which is the ISB, and also we get grant funded as well to run the program. So we're restricted by the area that we identify that we're going to be serving and the community that we're going to be serving as well. So, and we just actually got funded also by another program, which is also a PEP program, but funded by CPS as well, which we're trying to bring up, our clientele. So we do have openings just in case if anyone is interested in the program, and they can always come in, and we will come out and do an intake with them.
So the CPS program now, is that, when you said it's a PEP program, you're saying that the CPS program is similar to the one that we have been running through the Illinois State Board of Education?
Exactly. It's very similar. We do the same thing as the current PEP program. So the curriculum is the same. Everything is pretty much the same as well. Yes.
I see. Will that expand our area, because as far as what we can do through CPS, or does it overlap with what we've been doing already?
It's pretty much overlapping in terms of what we're doing already. So pretty much enhancing the existing areas that we serve in, because we noticed that in the Inglewood as well as in the Austin community, we need to increase our numbers of enrollments within those community. So because there's a lot of parents who are in need of our services, so that's why it's a plus that we increase our enrollments in those communities.
Okay. Do we work in the community? Do we work with any of the community-based organizations, churches, or what that are to get the word out, so that people, parents in those communities know that this is an opportunity for them? Yes,
definitely. We actually do work with local churches as well as the WIC offices, the Department of Public Health, DHS as well, and several offices within the geographic location. We do actually work with Children's Memorial Hospital also, that provide us with car seats for our clientele.
Really?
So pretty much we train our clients on how to properly install car seats in their vehicle, and also provide them with the free car seats if they can't afford it.
I wasn't aware of that myself. I wasn't aware of that, really. So they can get a free car seat.
Yes.
Do they get just for one moment to stay on that? If they have a couple of children that are within that range, do they get a car seat for each child?
Yes, they do. We have technicians who are trained on how to properly install car seat in our client vehicle. So to make it convenient for our client, we actually bring the car seat to the home. So we don't ask them to come to us. We bring it to them so they can be convenient for them. We teach them how to install the car seat. They already in advance tell us what the age group is, because we already know. So we bring the appropriate car seat to their home. We teach them how to install the car seat in their vehicle, and then we provide them with the car seat. So let's say, for instance, if they have 2 children, we bring in 2 car seats to their home, because those children have different ages.
That is really wonderful, as far as that's concerned, because those are not cheap. Parents are hard-pressed nowadays, even more, as far as money to go out and buy. I'm sure that and you see where parents are driving with children that are not safely secured.
Yes.
And so this is a wonderful opportunity for them to do that. And again, if you have any questions or would like some other information, the number's on your screen, 312-738-1060. As far as the parents in the community are concerned, are there ways in which do we bring parents together, so they're not operating only in a vacuum themselves. Let's say that we have several families within a given area, community area. Do we also bring these folks together to share and to support each other?
Yes, we do. We actually have a once a month group meeting in
okay.
all the geographic locations that we serve. So pretty much we come out within the group meeting that we have is usually 2.5 hours long. So we do art and craft activities. This is the time that the parent can socialize with each other. We also bring in speakers depending on the topic that we present that day. So they and then at the end, before they leave, they get to enjoy lunch with us. So they eat before they go back home. And also twice a year, we have a field trip where we bring all of the parent empowerment program clients together.
Oh my!
Where we can go out to maybe the Lincoln Park Zoo, the Brookfield Zoo, the Children's Museum, or whatever outing that they would like to attend or see as well.
How long has ChildServ been operating this program?
I believe it's over 20 plus years.
20 plus years.
Yes.
So this is something that obviously the Illinois State Board of Education thinks is well done.
Correct.
And we've been operating. Are there other organizations that also are involved in this program? To the level that we are, or are we one of only several in the state, or how does that?
There's other organizations that are involved in that are similar to our program. That we partner with them as well. Yes.
Okay. Now, as far as the program is concerned, I'd like to go back to a couple of things, just in case somebody has now come on and was not listening or didn't hear when we first started at the beginning of the program. The age group for this and some of the things that actually take place by the parent, I believe we call them parent educators.
Right.
Okay. So let's talk a little bit about the program itself.
Okay.
You've done the intake, the families involved. Okay, now what happens?
Well, pretty much after I've done the intake, I assign the case to a parent educator, and then the parent educator will go out to the home and introduce himself pretty much and introduce the curriculum. And the next step is doing the family assessment as well as service planning.
Okay.
So in the process of doing the family assessment service planning, let's say for instance the parent wanted to go back to school. We try to identify schools that is easily around their area and something that is affordable for them to attend. The same thing with employment. We get a lot of employment resources. So we assist our client with resume building. So in the process of assisting them with resume building, we also give them employment information where they can apply for employment. We have had a couple of our clients who have gainfully employed. Also, the same thing with housing. We have some of them have come to us wanting some housing information. We have also provided them with some housing resources, which is within their income level.
Sure.
So anything, and we have had quite a few clients who are pretty much in their own apartments. And they are very happy and satisfied with where they're living.
Now, as far as the children are concerned, what do we do? I know it's parent empowerment program, but are there any programs or any pieces of this that include the children as far as what can be done or at the different ages? Are there any kinds of things that we do in the house when we're there?
Yes, we do. With the curriculum, which is the Parent is Teacher's curriculum, is tailored by the child's age. So we bring out the curriculum that the parents can utilize in the home with the child. So we don't ask the parent to go out and buy anything. It's something that we bring to them, and also things within their home that they can use. We also do twice a month screening. We do ages and stages questionnaire screening, as well as ages and stages social emotional screening on the child, just to make sure that the child is developing accordingly. So let's say, for instance, if we have a child who's not developing, we refer the child to Child and Family Connection.
I see. And when you say not, if the child is not advancing the way we think that it should, you're talking emotionally, education-wise?
Yes, social, emotional-wise. Pretty much, we look at the child according to the other children that particular child's age.
Mm-hmm.
So when we notice a 6-month-old is not developing accordingly to where a 6-month-old is supposed to be, we work with the family, and then we rescreen again in 2 to 3 months. If we notice that the child is still not developing, that's when we screen again, and also we refer them to Child and Family Connection.
I see. And as far as the children are concerned, do we connect them, the parents, of course, but the children, when they get to the age for Head Start or preschool, pre-kindergarten, how do we, I know that we do wraparound type of programs like that,
Yes.
so how does that operate?
Well, pretty much when the child's makes 2 years and 6 months, that's when we start with the transition planning. And the transition planning in terms of identify where the child is going to go next. So we pretty much have 6 months in between before the child makes 3 years of age, where we can transition the child and close the case. So we give the parent an opportunity to either transition the child to our HIP program, which is our 3 to 5 year old program. We also give them the chance to transition the child to a CPS program, or to any program that is within their geographic location that they're comfortable with. So pretty much we work with the parent extensively within that 6 months, so that when the child is 3, the child has somewhere else to go to.
Okay. And the wraparound within our organization, I know we had the hippie program on here, and we talked about that program. But just briefly, just from the standpoint of the wraparound part,
Right.
Where does the hippie program pick up? And just in general, I don't expect you to go through the nuts
Right.
and bolts of it, but how it goes from the PEP program into hippie, and how the children can go from 0 to 5, basically. Is that correct?
Pretty much. Pretty much when we transition the child at the age of 3, the child will transition into the HIPPY program, where HIPPY picks up at the age of 3. The HIPPY program will also pick up the child from that point up to age 5, whereby then they will transition the child when the child is 5 years old to a pre-K program.
A pre-K program, and go on from there.
Exactly.
Okay, and where does actual Head Start fit in there, and are we involved in that at all?
Well,
Is
pretty
that's
much-
the pre-K, isn't it?
Pretty much the hippie
Hippie
is
program.
like a Head Start
Right.
program,
Okay,
because it's
that's
kind of like
ours.
it's like ours, because the Head Start is from 3 to 5 years of age, and the hippie program is 3 to 5 years of age, so after the Head Start, the
Right.
next step is going to the pre-K to kindergarten.
Right.
So pretty much our program is seamless, because it's preparing the child from cradle to age 5,
Right.
so that they can get ready for kindergarten.
And that's where I was going a little bit with this. So, when the child can transition out of PEP and do that wraparound, do we help them make that transition? Do we offer the hippie program to these people?
Yes, definitely. That's one of the things that we have to offer to them. So we give our parents a choice, because some of our areas, let's say for instance for the Rogers Park community, we don't have a hippie program. So we have to give them the choice of in terms of getting them into another program. But in the community, like the Houston community, the Humboldt Park, as well as the Inglewood community where hippie is, that is the first choice that we give them. And we see that quite a few of our clientele who are transitioned successfully into the HIPPY program and move on to another stage, another level.
Okay. And as far as the program is concerned, how long do we stay with the family? Do we go all the way with them until they transition, and then do the parent educators, are they handed off, so to speak, to someone in the other program? Is that how, or does the particular parent educator that might be working with the family for 3 years, do they stay with that family in any way because they've developed this relationship, type of thing? How does that work?
Well, pretty much when we get a client who is pregnant,
Wow.
pretty much when the client comes in and she's 2 or 3 months pregnant, the client gets the benefit of staying with the program for 4 years.
Right.
Pretty much. So the same thing when we get a clientele who already have a child whose baby is 2 months old. So the baby gets to stay with us for 3 years as well. And after the child is aged out of our program, which is at the age of 3, they get to stay with the HIPPY program, which is additional 2 years program, until they get to kindergarten.
Right.
Yeah.
But the staff person, the parent educator, is only up to a certain time.
Right.
But then it goes on to the hippie program that picks it up.
Exactly. Usually the parent educator will stay with that particular parent depending on how early the parent come into the program. It can be 4 years, it can be 3 years, it can be 2 years. So they will stay with that particular client until they transition out of our program.
Okay, so then my question, by the way, again, if you have any questions, any comments regarding what we're talking about tonight, the number on your screen is 312-738-1060. Or if you want some expanded information on this program or any of the programs that ChildServ offers, please go to our website, www.childserv.org. So, what happens if someone comes to us and, as you were mentioning just a minute ago, the mom is a mom-to-be, she's pregnant, and we go through the intake and we go through the process, but she also has a 2-year-old at home. Do we automatically bring that child into the program too, and is that a separate intake and a separate thing, or is the family one whole, or how do we operate if we knew that the mother coming in was pregnant, and then we find that by going out there that there is another child involved?
Pretty much we service the family.
Okay.
So the mom and the child, the family pretty much becomes our client. So let's say, for instance, if we get a mom who is maybe 3 months pregnant.
Right.
We have a pregnant mom curriculum that we utilize with the mother.
Okay.
And also for the 2-year-old child, we also have a curriculum that tailors to that particular 2-year-old. So we work with both. We don't just work with the child and then abandon the mom, just because she's pregnant. We work with her as well throughout her prenatal and everything else, But pretty much the whole family is our nuclear client,
Okay.
So we don't disregard the child just being our client or the mom being our client. It's the whole entire family.
And as far as school is concerned, you were mentioning, let's say that the mom would like to is high school age, and would like to finish high school. Do we work with her and with CPS, with Chicago Public Schools, in some way so that she's able to continue education while she's going through this? Do we advocate on her behalf?
Yes, we do. We actually recommend that the client stay in school, because we have seen even older adults who have not even received their GED, and that's one of the things that we advocate. We advocate for them to go back and get their GED by partnering with community colleges that can pick them up in terms of educating them to get their GED. Yes, that's one of the key components of education is that we value in our program.
Now, what happens if, just going along that, because of the fact, for a minute, because the education is so important.
Extremely.
What happens if the mom would like to go back to school and she's not pregnant, but she has a child who's 2?
Okay.
Do we assist in finding some way in which the child is taken care of during the school hours so that the mom can go feel free that the child is being taken care of all right?
Yes, we do. That's where the child care component comes in place. The same thing with education, with job readiness also. So pretty much when the mom is enrolled in the school, we also trying to find a child care program where the mom can put the child in the child care center or in the home-based program where the mom can continue getting her education while the child is also in her center base where she can be at ease.
Okay. And have we had some pretty good success with all of this?
Oh, definitely. We have gotten quite a few of our clientele who have graduated, who have gotten their GED and went beyond GED, who have gotten to a community college and actually taken some nurses courses. We have also gotten some clientele who have graduated from high school and also went beyond to get their bachelor's degree. So we've gotten so many success stories in place where we have gotten so many of our clientele who have achieved their goals.
And briefly, in the time that we have 1 minute left, I was just shown wrap up. But I wanted to ask because we know we have the dads here too.
Yes, we do.
And we haven't talked at all. So we've got probably 45 seconds here. But the dads, we do help as far as education, GED, and the programs, just like we were just talking about the moms, correct?
Correct. Everything that we do for the mom, we do the same thing for the dad. We ask, we even applaud the dad to come into our program so that we can educate them as well. Because not only does the mom have to do the whole work, but also the male involvement is very critical in the child's life. So we do have the same thing that we offer to the mom. We offer the same thing to the father as well.
As far as job placement and as far as education, as far as also knowing what it is to be a father.
Yes,
and
a
take
good
care
father.
of the family.
Yes.
Okay. Well, I think our time is pretty much up. If, again, you have any information or want any information about this program, 312-738-1060 quickly, or go to our website, www.childserv.org. Thank you very much for coming in, and we will see you again next Monday evening. Good night.
You're welcome.